Princess Peach Showtime is out today, and of course we're going to be talking about it, but of course I also have to play it, so yeah, give me a little bit, and then we'll be talking about it. But there's something else very interesting that I want to talk about today, and that's the fact that we are now down to 2 final games of the year. And both of them are classic games, one being on the GameCube and one being on the 3DS with Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door in May and Luigi's Mansion 2 Dark Moon in June. Those are our 2 final games now. And yeah, I guess you could also count Endless Oceans, which is kind of like second party in a way. As far as first party in-house Nintendo Studio games, we really have 2 mainline games for Nintendo right now, and none of them are brand new. In fact, this year there hasn't been any brand new titles besides Princess Peach Showtime, and now that that game is out, it might mean that we are done until the next Nintendo Switch. Now that March is almost over and we're already moving into the month of April and Nintendo pretty much has all their games lined up and the dates ready to go, I think it's time to talk about what Nintendo's plans are going to be for the future. What is Nintendo going to do? Well, let's kind of recap real quick. Well, starting off, we just got Princess Peach in March, and obviously next month in April, we're getting nothing. Yeah, there's actually no releases coming out in the month of April, which also makes me start to wonder, is there a reason for this? Remember, we didn't even get a Nintendo Direct this year. They actually started it off with a partner showcase, just giving us nothing but third-party partner games and no first-party announcements. And normally Nintendo does this for a reason. There's either some type of thing going on where they don't have first-party games ready, like some type of world event, like obviously the virus that has taken over the world back in 2020. And that was pretty much the only reason they even developed these partner showcases in the first place, to get out these games from third parties that needed to be revealed. And, you know, gave them some time until they had to reveal their own stuff. So my question is, what made them do it this year? Well, maybe it's because they had something bigger coming on later in the year, and maybe that's what April is saved for. We could finally get a general Nintendo Direct in April, and there has been some rumors suggesting so, but I still am on team no Nintendo Direct. I don't think Nintendo has enough big hitters to announce anything in a general Nintendo Direct until they officially announce the existence of the Switch 2. Now, the only way we do have a general Nintendo Direct, I think, is if Nintendo is in fact going to announce this new console at the Direct, or maybe have a part of the Direct dedicated to this new hardware. That is the only way in my eyes. And then they could finally reveal that big brand new 3D Mario or any other game coming to the new console, maybe even Metroid Prime 4. But that is the reason why I just do not believe that we are getting a general Nintendo Direct, because I feel like they're going to want to have a separate presentation for that. So if we're not getting a general Nintendo Direct, could we get a mini? Yes, I think this is also very possible as well. I think a mini Direct would be perfect actually, because they can then give us some of those ports or remakes or remasters that people have been asking for, the Twilight Princesses, the Wind Wakers, Metroid Prime 2 and 3, stuff like that, just to tie us over, especially if the rumors are still right about Switch 2 not coming at the end of this year and instead coming at the beginning of next year. That would give us some small games to hold us off until eventually the big announcements come for the Switch 2. Is it also likely that we're just done with Nintendo Directs for the current console? Maybe they just say, hey, in April we'll have a big presentation for Switch 2, and then that's it. They show us tons of Switch 2 games and there's nothing else coming this year. Yeah, I just don't see this being likely, because there's got to be something else Nintendo wants to release for the holiday this year and something else for later this year. There's no games right now, and I don't think they're just going to go through an empty holiday. They're going to at least have something for us to look forward to. So here's where I'm placing all my bets. I'm saying that we're going to have a mini Nintendo Direct next month that's going to showcase some remakes, remasters, like I said, the Wind Wakers, Twilight Princess, Metroid Prime 2 and 3 type of things. Maybe announce something at the very end of it that's a little bit more interesting than what we were planning, and then that's about it. Yeah, and then we're going to probably have to wait until the month of June before we get a big blowout of the next console, including the games coming to the next console as well. That's where we'll see our Mario, that's where we'll see our Mario Kart, that's where we will also see probably Metroid Prime 4 and other games that they're planning for this new console. I think June is going to be the huge month, where originally it was probably going to be March this month like the rumors were suggesting before the internal delay, but it's hard to say because of course nothing was ever announced. So final predictions, I'm saying mini Direct in April followed by a big Switch 2 presentation just 2 months later in June. Watch June come around and we're going to hear reports of another delay. Okay, so March for Princess Peach, April for a mini Direct, and then that gives us May for Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door and Endless Ocean. Then we are in the month of June where we can have Luigi's Mansion 2 and obviously the big Switch 2 blowout presentation. Then the first half of the year is completely done. But we have a whole second half with absolutely nothing coming out. So I know we kind of touched on a couple of these during that Nintendo Direct talk, but what is coming out for the rest of this year? What is left to get us hype? Well, let's try to fill in the rest of the months. But once again, I think it's going to be even more remakes, remasters, ports, stuff along those lines, because this year feels like it is just a get by year until we get to the next Switch. So what is it exactly that we're going to be getting? Well, back again, once again, with Legend of Zelda, Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess. These games have been talked about over and over and over again, and we still have not seen these games. I don't know what's taking so long when they're literally just... They can be ported from the Wii U. We have the HD versions already, just maybe barely upscale them and just have them working on the Switch, and everything would be perfectly fine. I don't see there being much of an issue at all with that. Maybe they're just waiting for the right time in order to space them out accordingly, you know, to their overall plan. But yeah, with Tears of the Kingdom out last year, this just feels like the perfect year for one of those games, or even both of those games. And I think, you know, they could definitely fill up some slots, especially if they're separated. And the same exact thing can be said for Metroid Primes 2 and 3, although these games will require more work. Now, it's unsure if they're going to be as, you know, crazily good looking as Metroid Prime 1, or if they're just going to be like slightly up-res, kind of like Mario Galaxy was. But yeah, either way, we definitely need Prime 2 and 3 before Prime 4 comes out, and this is something that we can definitely expect to see very soon. And I think, actually, I'm going to say I know this year is the year. There's no way in the world that these games are not coming this year. I'd be extremely shocked. At least Metroid Prime 2 echoes. So we'll have to wait and see, but this sounds like something that's definitely likely for later this year as well, and this could be one of the, you know, maybe couple big games this year, or holiday games this year. I could see definitely them putting Metroid Prime 2 or even Metroid Prime 3 as a big holiday title, just until we get to the next Switch. There's also been that Fire Emblem remake rumor surrounding Genealogy of the Holy War, so I don't know anything about that, or if that's even like likely, or if it's going to happen. You know, it does seem like it's time for another Fire Emblem game, so that definitely could be something that happens this year, and they might even treat that as a huge game, especially if it's a from the ground up remake, completely remade, looking really good. That could be the new holiday game, so it's hard to say. As far as anything else that could be announced, I really don't know what it could be, because I think Nintendo has pretty much ran through every major IP. I don't think they're going to give us a new Donkey Kong. I think that might be saved for the next console. It just makes sense for that case. I don't think Metroid Prime 4 is going to be ready. I feel like that's the only other game that it could possibly be. I feel like Metroid Prime 4 is just going to be on the next console. What is going to be the holiday game? I seriously think it's just going to be one of these that I've already announced already. I think they're going to really just build hype off of the future games, which I think is fine. And I think they could maybe have another small, like maybe a Mario Party or maybe a Mario Sports game. It's been a while for any of those. Or once again, they could just be holding both of those also for the new consoles. So it's hard. This is a weird time for Nintendo. Right now, we're just staring at 2 old games as our only lineup for the rest of this year. So we're just going to need Nintendo to speak. If Nintendo just comes out and gives us something, I think it will be easier to try to predict what they're going to do. But they won't announce this new console, and they definitely have not announced any type of big presentation or direct to showcase any first-party games. But what do you think Nintendo's going to do for the rest of this year? What do you think their plans are for the next console and any other game that they have coming? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe before you head out, and like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See ya, guys.